evening all, welcome to Dust, and today it's, well, let's just review. As I tell you this video right now, as I speak to you through my voice, it is probably going to be around, I don't know, 6th of September, so by the time this video is out, very likely Destiny is out as well. So I was just going to talk about maybe some of the things to bear in mind, because let me tell you one of my fears, let's say. Is that people give up on Dust with a feel that Destiny will give them everything they need. And I want to talk about that today, because I would like to just propose to you that actually the worst thing you can do is to give up Dust entirely, with Destiny still being a bit of an unknown quantity. And let me explain why. Because when you look at some of the new games that have come out lately, and I know we've spoken about this before, like Titanfall, for example, but let's look at things like Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was obviously a massively heralded game. When it came out, it wasn't very good. Well, it's a good game, brilliant game in fact, but it's amazing how few of these games keep people playing. I can't really kind of understand why that's the case. I mean, let me give you Grand Theft Auto as another example. When Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on the PlayStation, everybody loved it. It was brilliant. It was the gaming of a generation. Yet all of a sudden, half the people who played it stopped playing it within 2 weeks. I mean, that's incredible when you think about it, isn't it? It's like huge amounts of people stopped playing it. Now, admittedly, there was lots of issues with the technical aspects of it. It didn't even work. I lost loads of characters over and over, and it was very frustrating. But now it's obviously fixed. The argument is there's still no heists. There's still lots of things missing. So, you know, one could claim that while they tried to make a GTA MMO, which is effectively what they tried to do, what they've actually ended up doing is creating a bit of a disappointment. Now, let me just kind of take that thread and let's think about that. So the next thing to think about is Destiny. Destiny is coming out, and it's the most expensive game ever made after GTA 5, which also had that title until Destiny came along. Now, my biggest fear with Destiny is that it's actually trying to be Borderlands 2. Okay, now Borderlands is, we've been playing Borderlands, hopefully you've seen the videos. We've been playing Borderlands because I still think Borderlands is by far the best co-op PvE game ever. Because it's very good. It's got a real kind of charm to it. It's got a style about it that's very nice. It just works. To me, it really, really works. And it's funny because as we've been playing Borderlands 2, admittedly, we haven't played for quite a while, then we started playing it again, Trub and I, and we realised, wow, this is very similar to Destiny, but better. Okay. Now, I couldn't tell you what it was. It could be that Destiny's graphics let it down slightly. I know, careful, Pyrex. I know, careful. But when you see how good Borderlands 2 is, and the comedy and the writing and the stylization, the characters, Borderlands 2 really is deserving of its, what, 95% score it got from PC Gamer, I think it was. It is a true 90% plus game by a long way. And you can see that because it's been so beautifully created. Now, from what I've seen from Destiny so far, I haven't seen that, and I do worry slightly that that'll be the case. So, in subtext, that's why you should keep playing things like Dust. Dust, while annoying as crap, is still one of the finest, I think, free-to-play sci-fi shooters out there. It's not for everyone. If you're a newbie, it's a terrible game, because obviously this game is so bad and steep learning curve, etc. That's just a killer to any new players coming into the game. You have to almost be a masochist to actually want to learn to play this game from scratch, given the competition you receive from the get-go. So to me, I can honestly say that this is going to be something that I think you should continue to keep playing. There is an investment here. And I would just like to say, I know we all have this little bit of a kind of stab at Legion, because, like, you know, LOL Legion was told to us almost 7 months ago, 6 months ago. No, probably less, but it was still shown to us at least half a year ago. And we've heard nothing from CCP since. We've seen the odd drawing and the odd picture. We've also heard that certain key people have been made redundant. I'm not saying any more, but, you know, I've got people coming to me saying, do you realise this person and that person's gone now? And it's like, what's going on there then? So, you know, quite frankly, there seems to be major kind of challenges going on with Legion that we're just not hearing about. But don't get me wrong, I don't think these are anything more than any other gaming company would ever have with, you know, producing a product like Legion. I think it's just the unfortunate byproduct of doing it. It's probably quite a high stress environment. given the challenges CCP has, where they only really have one product and Dust. So they have Eve, they have Dust, and they have Valkyrie in production. That's it. And for a big company, a big production company, that's not very impressive. When you look at, I mean, Nano Cleric, he's a proper games designer, and his company, I think he said he's got, you know, dozens, almost hundreds of titles under its belt, the company he works for. And that's a good example of a proper developer trying to expand and build and, you know, build a reputation more than anything. Now, CCP are doing this as well. And I think Legion is going to be, I think Legion is so important to them now that if they don't make it a success, if it doesn't work, the damage will be so much that it will just be, you know, incalculable to the reputations of everyone. So this is why it will work. This is actually the driver, I think, of why Legion will work, and it will probably be very, very good indeed. I always was quite impressed with JC. I think he's got a real kind of vision behind him. I liked his vision. I think he's got a really good kind of attitude and, you know, approach to these things. I really hope he comes and does this very well. I really do hope it works. I think my biggest challenge is going to be, you know, how are they going to migrate from A to B? Now, this is why, again, coming back to our original point, this is why you should continue playing Dust. Even, you know, even if you've still, again, don't sell your PS3. That's step number one. I mean, that's an obvious one, right? Just don't sell it. Point number two is just keep an account, you know, gaining that passive boost that's right. So if you've got a main account, you know, literally a main character, just make sure you've got passive boost on them and just keep reaping the benefits of this game while Legion is being done. The worst thing you can do is say, I cash everything in, I sell my PS3, I biomass all my, I mean, anybody who biomasses is a fucking idiot. Because you're basically taking an asset, okay, it's not an asset that you own, but it's still an asset that you control, and you're basically just scrunching it up and throwing it in the bin. That is a moron maneuver to do that. Do not do that. Even if you're thoroughly pissed off at CCP, do not do that, because you're effectively, you're forcing yourself, you're forcing the hand of your own gameplay experience, which is emotional and irrational and stupid. So do not do that. Best thing to do is just walk away. If you have a PS3 and you don't do anything else but Dust with it, then unplug it and put it in the cupboard for a while. Do not do stupid stuff like biomass your character. And I think this is, it's almost like unbelievable that people would even think to do that. Anyway, that's another topic entirely. I think it's just an emotional statement from people who really don't know how to control their emotions. It is a stupid move. I think the next thing to do is to then just make sure that you've set the right skills running on your character, and then just enjoy enjoy other games. Go and play other games, knowing that one day when Legion comes out, you will have benefited because you've laid the groundwork correctly at this stage to actually prepare yourself for that new game. Because what will happen is these idiots who biomass and these idiots who sell their PS3 and didn't set it up properly will then find out that actually when Legion comes out, okay, you don't need your PS3 anymore, but you know, they'll find out that actually if they'd have been able to log in and change certain things and adjust certain things, when Legion comes, they would be in a much better position. Maybe the deal will be something around skill points and assets and money and so on. So by not managing that properly, you will lose it all. Okay, I'll make an offer for you. You're not going to be able to carry your ISK across. So if you do leave the game, just send me your ISK. It's Ceoparix space clone A. Just send it to me. Go on, send it to me. Let's make me a dual billionaire. I'm joking, by the way. You don't have to do that. But I think this is kind of my thing with it, really, is that, you know, the game is it's still fun. There's still plenty here to do. It's free. It's not costing you any money. And I think, quite honestly, if you want to just continue to, you know, prepare yourself for what could be quite an interesting game of Legion, then having the asset in Dust 514 continuing to grow, even while you're off playing other games, is just the most sensible maneuver. It's what a clever person would do, and it's what I advise you as a clever person to go and do. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.